I started bringing Kaylee over to Zenaida's apartment. I would usually drop her off. For a few months, we would go over to Jeff's house. He lived over in Avalon Park. I've tried to find out just information from people, going out to different places like Fusion Ultra Lounge and a couple bars that I know Zenaida had gone to downtown before to see just kind of random talk if anybody heard about my nanny or talked to her lately.
Did you tell anyone specifically that Zenaida took your child?
No. The only two people that I specifically told were Jeff and Juliet. I have nothing to go off of. That's the problem. I have perspective ideas of maybe where she could go. At the same time, she could have gone back up to New York. She could have gone up to Jacksonville where we have a friend. Could have gone down to Miami where her mom and her sister live now. And she was nonchalant with me the morning of. Everything was perfectly fine. My one goal is, regardless of how it happens, like I said, I don't care. I will lie, I will steal, I will do whatever I can to find my daughter.
I'm Mike Brooks in for Nancy Grace. I want to go out right now to Doug Burns. Doug, you know, we've heard that Jose Baez has been asking for some private time with her parents in jail. Is there any expectation of privacy at all when you're in jail?
No, almost none, Mike. The telephone calls are recorded, visits are monitored. I mean, when attorneys visit clients in custody, you know, you get put in a room and ostensibly there's some privacy. But anybody who thinks that they should be anything but ultra cautious is really deluding him or herself.
I want to go to Mark Klass, president and founder of Klass Kids Foundation there in San Francisco. Mark, again, thanks for being with us.
Sure. What
do you make of the Anthony's attorney to have a request to meet in private with her?
Well, they had plenty of time to have all the private conversations they wanted during the period between her first incarceration and her current incarceration. And I think if they're going to offer any kind of considerations, any kind of special considerations for anybody that's in jail, it would be for somebody that is assisting the prosecution and assisting in trying to uncover what's going on. In this case, we know that Casey has taken every opportunity to block progress in the case, and I think once her mother understood the consequences of telling the police that she smelled a dead body in the trunk of the car, that she then turned and she's been trying to block progress in the case as well. So they deserve nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Cindy goes from I smelled a damn dead body in the car to, well, might have been some rotting pizza, a bag of pizza rotting in a trunk. Right. And no, I'm not buying that at all. Back out to Leonard Padilla. Leonard, you spent a lot of time, you know, just like Mark said, they had plenty of time. Did they talk at all? You were inside the house quite a bit. Did they talk at all about the case around you?
No, not about the case, but there was certainly a lot of conversation around Tracy, who was in the room with Casey quite the full 9 days and 10 days that she was there. But Mike, let me jump back to something, okay? The area that the cop was taken to, the area the detectives looked for, is 75 feet from where the body was found. There are 2 stacks of pavers. Everybody is fixating on the first stack, which is, she obviously tripped on the pavers and said to whoever leaked the information out, I tripped on the pavers. The pavers that you see from the road are 75 feet down from the pavers that were by the body. She drove her car down along that fence and pulled it to a stop because there was terpenes found in the trunk of the car. You don't find terpenes in the trunk of a car that just drives up and down the freeway. You got to get down into the forest. The cop, as you said at the start of the show, it's wrong what they're doing to him because the Kronk led him to the wrong pavers, 75 feet off. If anybody goes out to that site and listens to Kronk's discussions to the people that he was talking to, he talks about what he thinks is a pool cover, which is actually an umbrella. He talks about the tree that's lying down. You can really build a scene.
And you've told me before, Leonard, there's a lot of trash in that area.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He knew where he was looking, but he keyed on the wrong pavers. And the reason he knew...
But did he know, did he realize, did Kronk have any idea about these pavers? Because the way it sounded, that Kronk was just concentrating on, hey, I found this, there's a plastic bag. But as you said, as you told me before, there are a lot of plastic bags down there.
Exactly. Let me give you a hypothetical. You're an ex-investigator. Let's say, for instance, like Burns said, if you think that an attorney and a client have 100% privacy in that jail. That's not true. Cops listen in to see if there's any plans for escape and all that other stuff being formulated.
Yeah.
What would happen if you were the cop that was listening in and you heard Casey describing to the attorney where the body is? What would you do?
Well, you know, as a law enforcement
You can't
officer,
go public with it, can you?
Well, you know, I would at least let the lead investigators know so they can decide where they want to take this case.
Right. Are they going to just come out and say, okay, case is dismissed, we screwed it up?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
So what
not.
are they going to do?
But Doug Burns, you know, is there any obligation for an officer of a deputy that overhears like that to report it?
Oh, it's a great hypothetical that Leonard gives, but I think that whatever privacy probably goes out the window as a practical matter to recover the body. I mean, that's what I think.
Like a comet blazing across the evening sky,